Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am your host, Kaylee Nicole 999, and I am still trying to play catch up. So I got, this video plus one more to make today in order to fully get caught up. So today is Monday, November 23rd, 2020. This is going to be day 9's video, which technically would have been for yesterday. Sunday, November 22nd, 2020. And this is 90 days to recovery after narcissistic abuse. And I was really dreading making all of these videos because I got things like piling up on me, and I'm not earning enough money as a rideshare driver right now because my state is like back in restrictions, and so people aren't using rideshare, and so now I'm like trying to find other ways to make money, and life is stressful. But what do? Well, you can sit there and dread everything that you have to do on your to-do list and make up all kinds of excuses as to why you should put it off until later, or you can just get it done. So we're just going to get it done, and we're going to make shorter videos. That way I'm not making 30-minute videos because that's, 90 minutes in one day. So anyway, what we're going to talk about in this video is projection, and we're just going to keep it short. We're just going to do one topic. That way I can keep this video short because I start talking and sometimes I can't stop. So what is projection? Well, projection is basically displacing your own feelings, your own behaviors onto somebody else. And toxic people project a lot. We all have the tendency to project. Often when you're judging somebody else, you're judging your own behaviors, but you're unaware that you actually do those things. You can see those negative behaviors in somebody else, but you are completely oblivious to the fact that you also do those things. It's so much easier to call out toxic behaviors in somebody else rather than yourself, right? We all do it all the time. I am so guilty of this, and I'm working really hard to change this. You got to start taking accountability for your own behaviors. You got to start, like, when you're having an argument with somebody, which we all argue with people, right? Arguments are in all relationships, not just toxic relationships. There's just a huge difference between an argument between two healthy people versus an argument in a toxic relationship. So, when you are discussing something that upsets you with somebody and you notice that your voice is starting to rise and you're starting to yell instead of talk in a conversational tone, you gotta take a step back, and you gotta be able to reel yourself in, and you gotta say, oh, hey, okay, maybe we should stop talking. Maybe we should both take a break, and maybe we should both come back and discuss this at a later time when we were both calm. Okay. But a person who is projecting would not notice that they are yelling themselves. They would, however, notice that the other person is starting to yell. And then they would come back with, well, don't scream at me, And the other person would say, you're screaming too. And they would say, no, I'm not, with all this attitude in their voice. So let's go back to talking about my narcissistic best friend, the recent relationship that I ended back in 2018. Whew, she projected everything onto everybody. And I noticed it in her, she was constantly complaining about other people's behaviors. And I would just sit there looking at her like, how are you complaining about this stuff when you do it yourself? But that's what I was thinking in my head. I would never, ever call her on it. Because if I knew if I called her on it, there was going to be hell to pay. She was going to get incredibly mad at me. And, I would get the silent treatment. She would say whatever, to me. And then she would just sit there and not talk. It would get to the point where when I would call her out on something, she would get really mad. I could tell that she was mad in her tone, but she would be super passive aggressive about it. She would not tell me that she was mad. She would not tell me why she was upset whatsoever. And then she would sit there on the phone and give me the silent treatment, like literally just not talking while we're on the phone, until I would finally say, okay, well, it doesn't seem like we have anything to talk about anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. How ridiculous is that? We were in our 30s. She was doing this behavior when we were in our 30s. And she would get really mad and really frustrated when friends would do that to her. She would complain to me often that, you know, certain friends would get upset with her for something, but they wouldn't tell her why they were upset. And they would just be incredibly passive aggressive about it. And they would kind of give her the silent treatment. And she would tell me how much it irritated her. But she does that to everybody all the time. Okay. You know, people constantly project on me, and I have a really bad habit of mirroring their behavior back to them. I match energies, and matching energies is not the best thing to do because it usually causes far more problems. But sometimes it's kind of funny to sit there and, you know, do these things that these other toxic people are doing and watch them get incredibly mad at their own toxic behaviors, but never realize that it's their own toxic behaviors that you're mirroring back to them. That is not the healthiest way to go about things, you guys. Don't follow that advice. I'm just calling myself out for things that I do that often make things worse instead of better. So yeah, let's talk about projection just a little bit more. I am in a phase of my life where I am just not dating. I have not even attempted to date in like 2 years. I haven't even had sex. In January 2021 will be the 2 years since I've even let anybody touch me at all sexually. Because I'm healing and I'm working on myself and I'm bettering myself. And sometimes you gotta heal alone, you know? Sometimes being in a relationship when you're healing from narcissistic abuse or just abuse in general, it's not the best thing to do. So I met a guy recently, and I wasn't attracted to him. Like, I was only looking for a platonic friendship. He may have wanted a little bit more. I don't know. We don't necessarily talk at all anymore. But when I first met him, he seemed like this really great guy, you know? He was complaining how people judge him because of this and because of that. And then he started talking to me about like this judgment-free zone that him and his friends have. And I was like, whoa, this is great. This is amazing. I love the judgment-free zone, you know? Well, I hung out with him, and we hung out that day. And then I noticed little things like, he did not like the coffee that I ordered. I ordered a chai tea instead of coffee. And as I was ordering, he was just like, you know, and I was just like taken back. So I explained to him that I already had a lot of coffee that day and I wanted something with less caffeine. But I was really put off by that because he was judging me for my order, and he was originally all about, you know, judgment free. Well, he was projecting his own behavior onto others. Later in the conversation with him, he was looking at somebody and he didn't like their outfit, and he was just like, how could they go out in public like that? And I was just like, and I looked at him and he's like, oh, that judgment-free thing, that only applies in my house with me and my friend. And I was done at that moment. I was just like, okay. You know, not somebody I really wanted to continue to hang out with much. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying that he has things that he needs to work on within himself. I did continue to hang out with him for a little bit that day. But, you know, even if I was attracted to him, I would have immediately became unattracted to him just because of those little things. Another projection. So I had an ex-boyfriend, and when we were together, he was constantly like, you're cheating on me, you're doing this. Like, he was calling me all the time. He was very controlling. If I didn't answer my phone within a certain amount of time, he was really mad. He wanted to know where I was and what I was doing every second of the day. Well, by the end of the relationship, I found out that he was cheating on me with not just one, but 5 different women. He was projecting his own toxic behavior on me. So yeah, projection is like a huge red flag. Really, you know, don't just believe people's words. Really pay attention to their actions. That's how you're going to be able to figure out if somebody is projecting, because they're going to say one thing, but they're going to be doing the complete opposite. So yeah, you know, moving forward, friendships, romantic relationships with family, pay attention to their actions much more than their words. And I am going to end this video now, because if I don't end it, it's going to turn into a much longer video than I wanted, and then I'm not going to have energy to make my third video of the day and get caught up. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, then give me that thumbs down. If you want to talk to me about projection, then go ahead and drop a comment. In order to stop projecting, you got to become really self-aware. You got to become self-aware of your own behaviors, your own emotions, your own feelings. You may need help from a therapist. You know, you're gonna have to figure out how to stop projecting on your own. I'm not here to tell you how to do that, because I'm not living your life and I don't know you. Anyway, so if you want to stay connected with me, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever I release a new video. And I will be seeing you guys in just a few minutes, because I'm going to make day 10's video and get officially caught up. Thanks for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.